Alright, well, this is underwhelming. Only person here is JC. Hello, JC. Alrighty then. Well, chatting. Hello. What? I'm sorry, but what? You know, this is supposed to be a podcast, right? Hmm. Well, looks like nobody else is joining. Great. That's just great. I mention it and then nobody else cares anymore. Fun. Alright, well, I guess this is the time for anybody who wants to ask questions or whatever to ask questions or whatever. Yeah, basically, but honestly, I was hoping this would be better than the other podcast, World's Worst Podcast that I did, but yeah, that was with all of like the members of the Anonymous W. Yeah. That was a good one because we had tons of people talking and it wasn't boring and like this is. You know, four people, including yourself, JC, voted on doing it today. Out of those four people, only one of them showed up. Then why did you vote? That is not a valid reason to vote because I would have still streamed today, it just wouldn't have been a podcast. Are you regretting your decision yet? Of course not. Well then, looks like this stream it's not going to be cut short. I'm just going to go switch to a video, another game actually. Be right back. Alright, we've switched to SCPSL. Give me a moment as I try to connect to a server. There we go. Gameplay. Alright. Alright. 939. An 079. An 096. Another 939. An AFK man. What? Well then. Well then. Sorry, no can do, JC. When I'm streaming on SCPSL, it is next to impossible to understand who is who. Peer pressure. The death of literally everybody in this game. Oh, wait a second. There we go. I forgot to turn on audio.
Not this again. I'm fucking muting him.
It's like this is the first time I've ever streamed. AFK.
Yes, thank you. Please kill him. Oh, it's another dog. Damn it.
Wait. Some of us split up and go to gate A. Some of us split up. Okay.
Well, I'm not going.
Hey, let's see. The two dogs are in intercom.
No, hold on.
Well then. Oh no. Where is he? Wait. Where did he go? Where'd he go? No, okay.
Better wait for me, I swear to God. Okay, thank you.
You're
are
welcome.
a friendly chaos. Since you are friendly, you this whatever that thing is.
Pistol, thank you.
You're welcome. If you want to, you can come to the intercom room and I can give you more stuff there.
Alright, maybe. Hold on. Oh, jeez! I'm a spy. I was a spy, dude. Oh, yes. No!
So, the election's coming up. What can Tyrone do if you
basically making it illegal to have friendly classes betraying each other. Because us as Tyrone, we're peaceful. Go into the Discord and cast your vote by saying Tyrone 2020 today. And make sure we can make this world a better class for everyone.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, hold on, hold on. Hello.
Danger. Light containment zone overall decontamination in T-minus 1 minute. Facility powered system failure in 3, 2, 1.
I didn't like that. Oh, what? Dang it.
Seconds. All checkpoint doors have been permanently opened.
You can't kill.
Now I'm stuck in new.
Hey.
Why would you do this to me? There we go.
20, 19, 18, 17.
You thought you could make me a zombie forever? Decontamination process will get to me.
No.
Have you ever
I've committed treason.
Well then.
Can you not?
There we go.
Hey, that's TNT. Consider that enough.
I wanted to use the intercom.
See you guys. I'm dead.
Bro, it will open.
Tyrone 2020.
Oh no.
Goddamn spy died.
Yeah,
You just
Tyrone
need to
2020.
survive for a bit longer.
Tyrone 2020.
Tyrone 2020.
Tyrone 2020.
What are you doing?
Tyrone 2020.
Yeah,
Correct.
Tyrone 2020. Alright.
Tyrone 2020.
Oh yeah.
Wait. Maryland or Tyrone. Tyrone.
Oh.
Tyrone, are you actually gonna apply for mods?
I already applied. I'm genuine. I'm just gonna make a big deal out of it.
Well then.
Wait,
I genuinely applied for mod. I'm just gonna make a big deal out of it. So.
Apply for mod later, like maybe next time.
Which?
Yeah, because like there's a time limit. So.
Come on. There we go. Round restart. Woo. I just hit my mic. Well then.
Hey, guys, come on.
Greetings, comrades.
Привет.
Yeah.
I've got so many questions.
Julia.
Fish, can you bring me into the comms so I can make Tyrone announcements?
Well, game's about to start.
Use this computer.
Watch out, you don't want.
D. D. D.
That's not very Tyrone 20 of you.
D. Class. Well, that's not very nice, closing on doors on your friends. Oh, great, I'm not even the janitor.
Attention.
No.
Yes. I either get this card or your card.
Will occur in T-minus 15 minutes.
Alright, the choice is yours. I got that card.
In order to avoid destruction.
Woo! You know, I could escape right now, but I'm not going to. Hello.
Nothing over there.
Zooey mama.
So get this, I threw a napalm grenade at a guy and he... Oh, hey, how are you?
Guys.
Oh! No! They're behind you! They're behind you! Please don't. Okay, I don't like that. Hi, Shy Guy. Bye, Shy Guy. Not today. Also, I changed my phone account to this one so I don't have to explain. I have an alt, also I'm cool. Alright. I just ran into 2 SCPs. And I'm still alive. Does that make me cool? Oh, fudge. Okay, I either need servers or... Actually, not cool, literally. I'm still on fire. Oh, hey!
Hey, Ben, I see you.
Oh, no!
Ben, I almost...
Wee! Yes, Ben, that makes you cool. What? I'm confused.
Tyrone apologizes for my behavior.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Got it. I've got my escape card. Wait, no, I don't. Sneak 100, yeah. Go, go, go. I need to find Shy Guy's chamber. Oh. Shoot, I just went in a circle, huh? Oh, wow. Please be chaos, please be chaos, please be chaos that spawns in next. Hi, how are ya? You doing a good day? You having a good day, friend?
Yes, hello, sir.
Dang it! Do you want to try playing entry point together sometime? Sure. Great. Help! Run! There's a okay, here, detain me. Detain me, please.
Get in the bathroom right now. Get in the bathroom.
Okay.
Get in the bathroom.
Get in the bathroom.
Some way.
Get in the stall. How do you spell chicken?
Chicken?
Pedophile. He's in the woman's bathroom.
Yeah, chicken.
Chicken. Freddy.
Yeah, chicken.
Don't open it.
So,
Yeah.
He said EA.
no, he said Freddy.
Oh. Yeah, if you say my name, that's it automatically.
I had to.
Grr.
I had to.
We got one. Clench my fist in.
Let me turn him into a scientist, man.
Hey, people in 914, can you please let me in? Thanks. Hey, have you guys heard about, what was your name again? I completely forgot your name.
Well then.
Marcus. Marcus. Marcus, where are you? Marcus. 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 Marcus.
Shoot at him until I.
William.
I asked him how to spell chicken and
Behind you.
yeah, I know.
Alright, let's see. So, there's an AFK 106. What level are you again? I played. I decided to play one day, try doing the Iron Man thing on my own.
What? No.
That is hard to do. But I was level. Like 33 or something.
Yo, Dio, did you die? Oh shit, you died. Oh, that's some peace.
I had to do it. How do you spell chicken? I'm gonna say coward. I can do Iron Man on the easiest difficulty. I want to try professional. Ugh. Honestly, I haven't played in so long. I really need to get better. Alright, excuse me for a moment. Just need to itch the face and just my mask strap. Much better.
What does that mean?
I was trying to help a D boy.
Wait, 106 is active now? My problem with the Iron Man challenge is that I am a hacker, an infiltrator, so it can be kind of hard. I want to say I'm good, but going loud or higher higher difficulty scares me. Yeah, that makes sense.
Rush.
Is everybody still there?
How do they not have O5s?
Why is that a bad thing? You're optimist, aren't you?
I don't
He
know.
doesn't see that, we're going to instantly kill him. No hesitation. I will go hunt him down. Not saying. Okay, he's chosen.
I like how casually you can storm through a mission with noobs not knowing what you're doing.
Like, I've been pretty passive.
Yeah, that is pretty fun. But
slowly walk from the guard.
Pick a door.
Hey, whoever.
I'm dead.
Excuse me, sir. Are you for Tyrone 2020? Hey, sir. If you could please wait. If you could wait a second, sir. Are you for Tyrone 2020? Oh.
haha.
Attempts to get over here and die.
Where'd he go now, There he is.
And Larry was the sprite guy that was not for you. So I guess. Okay.
Only thing I hate about that game is the players, especially the new ones who
Hey, sir,
don't know how the missions.
Tyrone
Yeah,
2020, 'cause
you
they,
know,
I'll
let's
have
see.
the
I
volunteer-
tried helping some level 1 and 2 newbies out on the deposit.
How many O5s does he need?
And
nice. Nice.
all right. What happened is one of them decides to go running into the. They all said that they want to do it a stealth mission.
After a guy.
But what happens next is one of them decides to take a gun out inside the bank and kill one of the guards for the sky.
Are you Tyrone 2020?
Can you guess how well that went?
Spectating?
There's 4 people and
He just said no. Okay.
Chilling and
Okay, Billy Bob. Okay, you're getting your guts ripped out.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Ended horribly. That wasn't a mission with you, JC. Classic, yes.
Okay, Billy Bob, where'd you go? Okay, who's in here?
Poor's that alive?
Oh, Larry's dead.
Not gonna make it.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We're not gonna. Oh.
Oh, they might.
Marcus Manning.
I'm looking for Billy Bob. He said he was.
Yeah. Let's see. I got too close to the thermal because those things have way too much of a ridiculous range. Well then.
Oh shit, Mike, that's a fucking
There's a spa around here.
I have an O5. I have an O5.
Let them go.
Don't shoot him, don't shoot him, don't shoot him, don't shoot him. Don't shoot him, don't shoot him, don't shoot him.
I'm unarmed.
So good. Sorry, man.
Alright.
There we go.
Here, how can I become a good boy?
Try escaping. I think that works.
Follow me.
Wait.
Go escape. Come on, Chaos. Go escape.
Run down there.
Roger.
It should make you a MTA cadet.
I have no.
It takes a little while, but.
Oh.
What if I'm still a
Why are there so much admins?
All right. Sweet.
Why are there so much admins on the server? There, Pep, and then I saw Milk, and then there was earlier.
By the way, thanks for introducing me to Entry Point. No problem, man. No problem. Fun game.
I'm in a 5. You can go anywhere you want.
Alright, oh! And somebody else has an 05 apparently.
Let's go back up. No, I left it open.
How about let's not go up down there?
Yeah, I didn't like the sound of that.
Let's go, hurry up.
Now somebody's in the nuke room.
Bing, 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 bong, bing, 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 bong. Roger.
Who has an 05? Oh, okay, good.
Alrighty then.
Alright, 1 minute.
I wanna get it.
Shy guy is coming up.
O5 club.
Shy guy.
Hey, it's doggo! There's a dog!
Run. Run.
Hey, 20.
The dog knows just to.
Throw a grenade in! Throw a grenade in!
I feel so comfortable with all.
Great grenade throw!
I can't close, I don't have an R5.
Run! For some reason, the dog just gave him.
Oh, hello.
That dog here.
No.
We need a grenade.
Right here, you can shoot SCP right behind him.
We're screwed up here.
Make sure to move to like right here because 1998.
Doggo is out. Well then. Shoot it! He must be low on health. He's trying to avoid us.
Oh, who was that noise? You come!
I'm sorry. Oh, it's Ben. Okay. Ben.
Hello. Hey, did you miss me?
You're about to kill me, so you better keep firing. Ben. Come on, Ben. Kill me, Ben. Ben, do it. Do it, Ben. You only have purpose right now.
Oh, I was the last one.
Super Anakin.
Ben, you're
Wait.
on it.
Sometimes the game just
Well.
says
Ah, dang it. Great. Well, chaos. This is it. This is literal definition of chaos.
Is everybody for China 2020 then?
I don't care.
Does he support?
Boolululu. Alright. I'm getting two different readings here. On my thing here, it says I have 3 viewers. Oh, no, never mind. They've just, synchronized. Okay.
Alright, guys, I say we rush
Support
B,
disarming.
and then go
Got
mid.
it.
Hey!
Dad, I'm a scientist.
Yes. Oh wait, yeah, dude, let's speed run this. Oh, you've got a card, nice.
Speed run. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hurry before the D-boys.
The D-boys are here. Let's just keep going. I know if we need to. Something else. 3 viewers, yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yep,
let's
let's go.
We need it. 0964.
Oh! Facility guards.
Scientist.
Let's go!
How?
You got a card to get us out, right? Sweet.
I got a lieutenant card, come on.
Let's go!
Nice, nicely done. Let's go, scientists. We made
Yeah, how long is this escape?
Speed run is real.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wait a second. One of you is a spy then.
Yeah, he's a spy. No, Moise Cow's a spy. Moise Cow's a spy.
Yeah, the other dude's a spy. Run.
I know what the spy.
Awesome.
Moise Cow's a spy. Either Moise Cow's or Freddy is spy. And I think Moise Cow's is.
Yeah, he just came out of nowhere. Let's go.
We need to disarm him. Yes. Time on 200.
Come on. Let's make this record time, boys. Heavy is a spy. Yes. Go, go, go.
Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. There we go.
Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Woo!
That was awesome. Okay, so where is the Moise Cows? I need to disarm him.
Alright, everybody into the elevator. I'm going down. Sweet.
Somebody gonna take that kit?
Let's go. There's a doctor?
Oh no, the spotties.
Go, doctor.
Hey! Hey, stop running! And let us arrest you.
Doctor's coming. Watch out. Doctor is behind us.
There, come on, come on. Come with me, D-boy.
Follow me.
Yep, escape is this way.
Let's go, D-boy. Good job. Let's go, folks.
So, you guys come around here often?
See, as N96, you can open up the doors.
Well then.
Yes, this is Tyrone 2020 way. Doctor, we just escaped. You can have a medkit if you want. There's some medkits on the ground.
Dang it!
Sound good.
Get ready to shoot him in the face.
He's running! He's running for it!
I don't think they actually fucked.
Run, children. You can die.
Shoot the D-class.
Get down, get down, get down. Come on, dude. Get inside the elevator.
Reloading.
Oh, take on these bastards.
Retreat.
Took one out, took one out.
I have some medkits. There's some medkits back there.
Moving forward, moving forward. Chaos spotted. Good job, good job.
It's dead.
Good job, man. We did this.
Be careful, there could be more.
I'll take that, man. Okay.
Oh, I took that right. I have medkits.
This place is a war zone. Alright, I think we're clear.
We lost a good man. No, not the good.
And look at this stupid D-class thinking they could. D-class with the guns! Great. It's because, okay. Let's see. Your auto mod is ridiculous. I cannot post anything in chat without it flagging me for nothing. It's very sensitive. What is it flagging you for? Because if you're cussing, then that could be it.
How could we let this happen?
But that's about all I can think of.
Dude, I could've. Oh my gosh, I hate this.
Goofy goober.
I had to make it. I don't know what happened.
Alright, yeah, because if you're cussing a bunch, then you can't really do that. You can't really send messages then.
Yeet. Yeet.
Alright, confused? Yes.
I swear it's just gonna be class computer. I saw it.
I lied.
It's gonna be all that's left.
HE double hockey stick center.
He's distracted with 914, so all the other D-boys get to roam everywhere they want.
Then that's whack. What's whack?
Peanut's gonna die in light containment decontamination.
And also, I can probably guess why. I don't know how to edit it right now, though. Like, wait, is it stream elements or is it literally the auto mod?
Tyrone 2020, what our plan is, let's say you don't like the law that we enact. Well, each server will have its own separate laws. The concept
It's very over-the-top censored.
Basically,
auto mod rule
let's
set.
say server 2 allows you weed, which is one of the plans. Then let's say we go to server 1.
Here, I'm going to save it as more filtering. Hopefully that helps.
That's what Tyrone 2020 is all about. Options and the
There,
freedom to
this should do it better. Yeah, I've reset auto mod.
Alright, guys, someone give me a card. Someone give me a card. I'll turn.
Blowing up the nuke.
Well,
The only SCP distracted with 914, which is on like one D-boy inside of it. Yeah, there's only one D-boy inside of it, and then all the other D-boys on the outside.
basically, this round is going to go on for literally ever.
I'm just dead. The only SCP other than computer, and I think computer's AFK.
Yeah, computer looks AFK.
Well, but technically they're not contributing to the team.
Yeah.
They're just staring.
Honestly, my greatest achievement in this round was being able to kill a bunch of chaos.
But I think it's gonna be an MTF when 3 scientists escaped, and I'm pretty sure scientists are the only criteria for MTF win.
Maybe. Yeah, I was one of those 3 scientists.
Yeah, it was me, you, and it was.
Oh, heck yeah! Couldn't I had at least gotten lieutenant? I forgot when you are going to get a server for SCPSL. Most likely, it's 500 or 1,000 followers. Yeah. Hello, hello. Dang it! What's that? What did that just happen? Oh, Abrino Official, thank you for the follow. Your camera is very low and hidden under your overlay. The stream is at very bad quality via unoptimized bitrate. The resolution itself is a bit over the good mark for unpartnered streamers, and it's freezing every other moment for me via I am in Austin. As the streamer, it's best to optimize so everyone can watch extra, considering you're not partnered yet. Might want to fix that. Yeah, I don't know why, but my rendering lag seems to just not want to work, but I've got a feeling with my current PC setup, there is no fix. Yeah, CPU is literally through the roof. And then memory is just after that.
Wrench is still alive. Oh no, poor Wrench, no.
Oh, Mary Lamb's gonna die. Mary Lamb.
Oh, the D-boys escaped.
No.
Oh!
Yes,
You're
Wrench,
kidding me.
live long.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on. I've tried fixing it multiple times, but problems occur. Also, for it being hidden under behind, my stream randomly cuts out. Yeah, here, you know what? I'll fix the here, let me fix the webcam quickly.
Few MTF against a horde of D-boys. This is not good. This
Here.
is not good at all.
There, is that better? Is that better? Here's some good settings. Bitrate 1300 to 1500. Output resolution about 480p. It's a good balance for my PC, any PC as far as I have seen. Alright, well... I don't know. Hold on, let me check what mine currently is.
Whoops.
Quality is 1080p. 60 FPS. Alright. And then 1300 to 1500 bitrate. Let me check that. Stream output.
Oh shoot.
Audio. Video. No. Output. Bitrate is 2500. Alright, so yeah. You said 1300 to 1500. For now, I'll try it on the higher end of the spectrum with the 1500. Hopefully that does better.
inevitable.
So click the left click button.
Wrench.
Alright.
Oh
Yes,
no.
you
Dr. Wynn, you're supposed to carry on my legacy.
I know. I had 16 health. I couldn't.
Oh.
I got shot in the head as soon as I opened that door.
Tyrone believes in
Wait, no, no. Object can't.
and nukes
If he
are
doesn't
part of that.
stand
Well then. Yep, there we go.
Powerful.
1080p is over the top for unpartnered streaming. 60 FPS at that bitrate is going to overload the intake of the viewer depending on the viewer. Alright, well, just tell me right now if anything if anything is better after I fix the bitrate. I made the bitrate a bit lower. Just tell me if that fixes anything. Alright, next round. Woo! And also, main reason why I hid my my webcam underneath the overlay is because my webcam kind of picks up the edge of my desk here, trying to keep that out of view as best as possible. I recommend a good 30 FPS at about 480p. It's not the best, but honestly, in what I am getting, I don't think it would be any worse, and honestly will improve the stream. Alright, here, let's see. Settings, stream, output. Output, rate controller, that's good. CPU usage preset higher. Profile high, tune 0 latency. Okay, alright, well, looks like I'm going to have to change all of that. Nice mask, by the way. I was trying to comment on that, saying nice mask, but your auto mod is hardcore. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, yee. Yeah, so. Yeah, but thank you for giving me a few suggestions on how to fix my stuff. I've been streaming for some time now, but
Can you close the door?
I don't know that much about streaming software itself.
Tyrone 2020 plans to help those who cannot find a card or who get cuffed out of a card.
Whoopsie daisy.
Okay, this
Here,
again,
let me.
no classes behind. This would be illegal under Tyrone 2020. No class.
Creator dashboard. I mean, is it as bad as like the Roblox thing? Roblox. Here, let's go with some filtering, hostility, some filtering, sexual content, some filtering, and discrimination, some filtering. There. Some filtering for all of them. I'm a bit of a swear mouth, but swearing in good context isn't really TOS. Honestly, I kind of hate when automod is hardcore like that, where you cannot even say, die? Well, you should be able to say that now. Automod, I've changed automod quite a bit.
Tyrone 2020. Robot, look here.
Tyrone 2020, no class left behind.
Computer.
Yeah, but thank you for the advice. Okay, I'm gonna test it. Yeah, see, look, I fixed it. Yay, I fixed something for once in my life.
Country road. Listen, computer, look here, computer. Computer, are you tired of being oppressed? Are you tired of your rights not being fulfilled? Your basic foundation rights? Tyrone 2020 plans to fix this.
I did nothing. Your message wasn't posted due to conflicts with the channel's moderation system. What? Hold on. That's not right. Well, it's showing here that your message has gone through everywhere.
If you vote Tyrone 2020, you'll go very.
Alright, yeah.
Hold up, I just realized D-Boy's got the Vans.
If you vote Tyrone 2020, go very fine. Tyrone 2020.
I would also like to, but yeah, your message was posted. I can see it anywhere actually. So.
Oh, hi, Chaos.
Why did no one close the door?
Here with all of you. Why do I have a weapons man? Where does he come from?
No, McCorder! Let me out of here.
Computer, are we gonna die?
Hey,
I said the F word to test it and it blocked it as a very bad word and not even auto modded. That's a bit it's hello, goodbye. Woo! Okay. Oh, hey, Ice Sleeper. Welcome back.
Is Dr. One dead?
How are you, friend?
Man, kill me? You're stuck in there.
F in chat.
Well then, yeah, I don't know what bitrate exactly does. Arch can indicate connection. Oh, my guts hurt. What? Wait, me? What? I'm confused. Oh wait, did I read your name wrong? Sorry, I thought it said Ice Sleeper. That's one of my viewer that usually pops on. Sorry. Sorry, Leopard. I read it as Ice Sleeper for whatever reason. I shouldn't have eaten that semi-moldy sandwich I just shoved in the drawer. Yeah, maybe that wasn't the best idea. I've never been here before. Yeah, I read your name as Ice Sleeper. It's kind of hard to see some things through this mask. So I read it as Ice Sleeper, who's a more current viewer of the channel. Pops in every once in a while. Pretty nice. Alright, where's my water? I don't care.
He had no idea. I saw it through the
Take the mask off, LMAO.
Until what happened? Did the
No.
portal get dropped on?
Not yet. Not yet. One day. Then I'm in, streaming VC, unmute me. That is a no can do. I just got Twitch last week, so frick. Alright, no can do, Jeremy, sorry, but, when I'm playing SCPSL, unmuting people in the streaming VC is hard to do because then I don't know who is talking in the voice call and who's talking in game.
Oh, 096 got dropped in the pocket dimension. Oh, God.
I don't want to get trapped, though.
Yeah, I have a legitimate World War II gas mask, and I don't wear it around like it's a bloody casual hat. Be sensible. Hey, I am not ready to show my face yet, and this is literally the only other thing I have, so... If I know, this is the only thing I have. I mean, I've looked around. I don't have anything. The only other thing I actually have is a Gear VR, which playing a video game through a screen...
Oh no.
Playing a video game through a screen is not ideal.
Oh, I don't think this guy knows about the zombie. I think it's D-class.
Don't be shy. Tomorrow play Jackbox Party Pack. Or I can stream Jackbox Party Pack 2 and we can play together. I mean, like,
Why do you slowly die for no reason?
If you're not ready to show your face, why use face cam? Simple. Well, I would hope it would. I hoped it would be a better way to connect with my viewers. Yeah. Okay, well, as I normally do when I am on Twitch, I'm gonna lurk for a bit, work on some stuff, and then surprise you with the outcome later. Alrighty then. Alright. Alright, let's see. 079 096 939 049 and then 106. Okay. But you wear the mask, yeah? At least I'm trying. It's also more of a test as well. Ben, are you going to play Jackbox Party Pack? Or am I playing Jackbox Party Pack 2? I'm not 100% sure right now. It could be either thing. I don't have any plans on what to stream tomorrow, but
You missed a trank shot.
it makes no difference.
From 3 feet away.
You don't know that. I honestly, I
okay.
hope it's making a difference somehow. In literally any way possible.
Fair enough.
But
Like,
right now,
you
it's
wouldn't
just basically a
write faceless?
gamble. Maybe Roblox tomorrow? Maybe. Maybe. I did some earlier today. Is somebody in there? No. No, no, no. So nobody's in there. I'm the developer of SCP Terminal, by the way. And I'm generally a game dev who does SCP-themed content. I'm one of the more casual devs, and I spend a lot of time on Twitch. Oh, well, SCP Terminal. Okay, did I read that as termination before? I can't remember. The SCP Terminal. I'll check that out. In fact, here, while I'm waiting, I'll check that out right now. Terminal.
Facility manager just get better, Wrench, and you wouldn't be almost dead.
Oh god.
Sorry I'm interfering in this. Sorry.
No,
What?
I don't want to die.
So, sorry, what? I'm confused. You said it right.
Go, Wrench.
Alright,
go.
I did.
Yes.
I feel like I said, termination earlier. Let's see. SCP Terminal is the first text-based SCP
Wrench is
game.
having a bad day.
Oh, alright. Oh.
Oh no,
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Also, ignore the massive how-to mod post on the main IndieDB page. It's massive, and I don't know how to remove it. Alright. Well, that wasn't very nice. Alright, I'll look at it more later. Oh, hey, I'm friendly, come on. Oh, and I don't even have a medkit. Great! Alright, well. I mean, it's not my bikini if you wear the mask. It's your choice, and if you're not ready, that's just you. Alright, yeah, oh. Hey, friendly? Are you friendly? Oh my gosh. Great way, great. Oh, good, oh. We stepped on the portal, Screw it!
This way.
Are you it's not my business. Oh. That was autocorrect. Of course it was. Autocorrect is annoying sometimes. I will say I'm also quite surprised that I'm holding 5 viewers right now. That is a very surprising thing to me. Yeah, that is very surprising because usually I hold at least 1. So, yeah.
And also,
Hey, Wrench, I'm sorry about that. You have vibe check.
Wait. Where'd this dude come from? Or have I just not been paying attention well?
Anything in here? I'll take the USB, but it's not like great, but it's not bad, I guess.
This dude doesn't know what he's talking about. It's the strongest gun in the freaking game. I mean, you seem nice, so not a surprise to me. Alright.
Please?
Yeah,
I got no help.
I'm confused.
I'm freaking dead.
Don't worry, buddy. Sounds like me in the real world. Confused.
I'll come back this way, I guess. Why not? had to go this way last time, so yeah.
You know, I did have a disguise before this one where I wear a fake beard, a pilot hat, and some shades. Some shades that don't actually some other things. Perhaps it's a certain presence who may or may not have people following him all the time via people kind of bloody add me at random via I'm a game dev and then using that to check out streams I am watching and lurk. What? Oh, are you talking about the 5 viewers thing? Oh, alright. Yeah, depression. Drepission is such a drug. Drepission. Yes, drepission is definitely that sounds like a drug to me. When you see a movie you've been wanting to watch for like forever on Netflix, then you watch it and realize it's actually horrible. Yeah, 2 of them or so may be just some of my stalkers LMAO. Well, that does make some sense. Imagine if you could like shoot a grenade midair and it just blew up.
If you're an SCP, yeah.
That would be awesome.
If you're a regular person, you have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. There's Jeremy on YouTube. There's JC on Twitch. There's Leopard here. I'm just gonna call you Leopard. I think that's it. Hello, yeah, Leopard here, and then there's you. So that's, and then subtract 1 because they're on YouTube. That's 3. So there's quite a big chance that 3 of them are stalkers.
Yeah, bro, I'm pretty
whatever that is.
You're the one whose name's Faceless. I'm not sure you can.
Although this mask is getting quite hot. So is this robe.
First of all,
this was my costume. My Halloween costume. I'm still wearing it on stream because, well, my other disguise is quite broken. I see you. I see you. It's like, look at your window. How to scare anybody. Just tell them to look outside their window. They'll probably flee in a second. You're not a stalker? I know. 3 people are most likely the stalkers because of the fact that there's JC, you, and Abrino. So, hello. Would you like to escape?
Before the D-boys do.
Yeah, I got all the cards in GR18. I don't have many followers per se. I didn't really count my following in general. I do it for fun, but generally spread over my IndieDB, my main focus. It's in the thousands so stalkers, and the like is a generally very real problem for me, considering I am a more casual dev. Alright, I understood half of that. Only because of the fact that I was trying to focus on the game partly. Those D-boys have the gun, don't they? I'm screwed. I'm screwed. Let's hope for the best this way. It's the hard knock life for it. When I manage to stream often, I have a high average viewer, but low follow. Yeah, low followers, which still have us not is. What? Us not is? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. My streams definitely feel like they've decreased in quality recently. But that's probably because I stream longer and other things. But I have Secret Neighbor now, so if you stream Secret Neighbor tomorrow, then I'll be able to play. Alright. Hello.
Run other way now.
What is it? Oh, that's... No. 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 Behind me is a facility guard. Go take them. Alright, so yeah, maybe one day again. I'm a BRB some more. Alright. No. Oh, blank. No. What? Oh. OMFG, Reno. Yo, how's it go? Oh no, I've got a feeling. Can you just ban this guy? Quick question, who is he? I'm going to take a guess at one of your little, stalkers. Hi, PC! Hi, how are ya? Hello. I did it! Hey, I'm doing good. How are you? Dang it. Dang it! Oh, you know what? Sure, if I get trapped in there, I don't really mind. Just drop all my cards, grab a med kit, and the major sign. Oh, hey Larry, how are ya? Aw, aw, you did that for me, how sweet. Oh man, so emotional. Oh, I could survive in here forever. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't know. I should have grabbed my flashlight. Ah, screw it. Dang it. Oh. Who the frick is Larry? Larry is SCP-106. What? People just call him Larry for whatever reason. That might be his name in like one of the SCP-SL articles, or not SL, just SCP articles. See what I mean? This happens all the time. Can you just leave me by? Oh no, Larry's stuck. Oh, there you go. Hi, Larry. Oh. Yes, let's go say hi to Larry again. Hey boys, let's go say hi to Larry. Dude, you never heard of the real Radical Larry picture? Yeah, I've seen it. I've heard of it. I've looked over, Larry's, article, but I haven't found a reason entirely for him being called Radical Larry. My only guess is to assume that he was, named Larry during World War II. At least... No, that was World War I because they had trenches running everywhere. Okay, BRB. Alright. Yeah, that was World War I because that was the last time trench warfare was ever... Hey, you shouldn't have followed me! I led us all to a dead end! Yeah. I can assure you that it is not this way. No, like the picture of the other Radical Larry. Are you talking about the one of him in the trenches? Because I've seen that one. Or are you talking about the one of him going through the wall? Because I've also seen that one. Or are you talking about one that I've never seen before? Alright, let's go screw ourselves over. Oh, hey, computer. Hi again. I'm back. Oh, hey, D-Class. How are you?
I don't have a flashlight. Shoot.
Hey, if you follow me, I can get you a flashlight.
Disarm me. Disarm me. Disarm me. Somebody please disarm me.
There you go. Come on.
I should be disarmed by you because there's another guard who disarmed me, but then he ran away.
All right.
106 and he chased him away.
No, the small person. No, I haven't.
I got disarmed.
Yes, you are disarmed.
Good.
Oh, he's right.
Good.
Oh, hey.
Oh, it's you guys. It's you. Yes.
I was so worried when I got taken that you got disarmed.
Yes, let's go.
All right, shall we get you to the surface?
One of the MTF.
Good work, guys. Good work. You're real here. I got a 5, so I guess.
Awesome. I think I activated the nuke.
Breaker myself.
Yeah,
I'll female
go get
breaker.
this D-boy out. I'm gonna go.
I have commander.
Oh, yeah. Where's the exit?
All right, should we get him out of here?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Which way was it? I think it's this way. Yep, there it is.
Okay. Yes.
Woo!
I was a scientist that told me a D-boy had a gun and he forced me to become a D-boy with him.
Wait, you're disarmed. I mean, unarmed. You're not disarmed. Sorry. There we go. I think somebody keeps. Why do you keep freeing him? Run, run. Okay, I'm back. This emote represents my life. All right.
Yeah, I'm disarmed.
Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Yoff.
I wish I was a scientist though. That would have counted to MTF when.
Yeah, I was a scientist, but then Larry took me. Yeah. I'm gonna stream on Mixer. No voice though, but my Mixer is Jeremy Hayes 55 by I'll stay in DC though. Hero and Wolf. Yeah, don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Oh look, more MTF. Okay, get over here. Get over here.
I'm at the exit. I'm at the exit zone.
Yeah, don't do drugs. Yeah. You have other drugs, of course.
Here, disarm me. Drop a disarmer.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I don't know
There.
why I escaped as D-boy and became a.
All right. Well then. All right, let's get you out here then. I have other drugs prescribed, of course.
Was a spy? I swear, I'm trying to fly again.
Oh, there we go.
Let's go.
Painkillers, what? Oh, hey, another D-boy.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. You saved my life. I would have been probably killed by somebody.
Yeah, probably. So, can I post the picture on Discord? Other than, other things I can't spell. Oh, what picture? That's my question. Oh, wait, are you talking about the other Larry picture? Hold on. Leopard, thank you for the follow. Yeah, thank you. That's greatly appreciated.
I was a D-boy. So was I. I was a D-boy. And then, I escaped.
Boom! Dang it! It got an SCP to contain over here. The original Radical Larry, the origin of his name, I think. Alright, sure. Post it. Grenade! Grenade! Hey, grenade!
I'm sorry.
Woo!
Why would you kill us?
Got serious vibe check.
Grenade!
Yeah, and I had to play my role.
How am I commander now?
I couldn't. I got turned into one. I didn't have a disarmer.
You just
I
disarm us.
Woo!
didn't have a disarmer.
I had a disarmer.
I tried to disarm you, ran away.
Yeah, sure. You can post it on the Discord. I'll check it later after the stream, which we still got an hour to go. Wow. Wow. I was doing a podcast earlier. That miserably failed because nobody else joined. And it wasn't even a podcast. It was just us talking. It was just going to be us talking, but people. Hey, CJDN13. Hello, how are you, friend?
So, you guys.
Do I hear papyrus?
Yeah.
Oh, so guys, sorry. I got turned from a
I'm the heavy tank.
so I did not have a disarmer.
You're the heavy tank.
I had two disarmers and I dropped one.
The heavy tank.
They weren't
Somebody
running
else
anymore.
disarmed.
Yo, vibe check. Peak oil got me feel.
How many members are there in the Discord? I forget everything. In the Discord, there are, I believe... Last time I checked, there's like 41 followers, but that includes bots, so that means -4. That's 37 different people. Let's go. Hello.
I want to be friends.
Okay, we can be friends.
Vibe check.
I saw this door close earlier. That means, oh, look, another one.
Get pranked.
Hello. Oh, look, there's 3 of you. 914's this way. Oh, sweet.
Let's fucking fail.
Let's go.
I know a different way. Somebody else has joined the chat. Hey! Hey! There's a dog! There's a dog! There's more coming up. Alright. New objective. Find the servers. Fudge! Thanks a lot! Oh no! Oh! So 37 members, yeah. Oh, that was great. It's like, you can't get... Oh no, they can get me. Oh, that was great. Here, okay, I see the picture. Oh, okay, I see you now.
I'm out of here. You're gonna die. No.
Oh, server? Yeah.
Oh, well, I died 09-6,
server
but
is
I should've
Joker's
distracted
Playground
them long
2.
enough, hopefully,
Pizza
to
boy.
let the D-class and other people escape.
It's also good to see you back here again.
I'm gonna be turned into a zombie.
Ah, this game's so much fun. All the chaos that happens. You know what I should do? I should really start working on my funny moments videos. I've got like 20 hours of footage that I need to edit down. Yeah, I saw that picture. I can now see what you mean by, oh, Little Larry or whatever you said.
No!
Okay, 1337, doing nothing. Scientist in somewhere. Ah, another scientist running. D-class somewhere. Lieutenant?
No,
probably a spy.
Followed you when you ran away.
Oh wait, is it? Yeah, I looked back and the card just wasn't there, so I thought you grabbed it.
I didn't know what happened to the card.
Yeah, neither do
Beep.
I now. I think it may have like fallen
Beep.
through the floor or something.
Beep.
Because I dropped it, it
Beep.
turned back, and it was just gone.
Beep.
But hey,
Beep.
at least you didn't die to 096.
Beep. Beep.
Yeah,
Beep.
I
Beep.
take it any day.
Beep. Beep. Beep.
Yeah, I
Beep.
played
Beep.
the
Beep.
I
Beep.
played
Beep.
the
Beep.
jump
Beep.
round at a corner and jump over him.
That
continuously,
sounded
he won't hit
painful.
you.
No way.
And that actually worked for a few seconds.
I just hid in a corner and didn't make a sound.
I wonder who's going
also,
to
one
spawn
of
next.
my final things I said
The
was you
D
can't catch
class
me in the
is
gingerbread man.
dead.
Then about 2 seconds later,
This
I'm dead.
doggo is AFK. 096. 049, a scientist is dead. There's a 173. We're screwed.
Tasty electricity.
If there is ever,
We're so close.
ever a 173 and an 096, there is no guarantee of success. In fact, the amount of success you have, I would put at 1%.
Or waited, ran out the door.
Oh, fix my mess again.
I think that. Wait, whatever happened to that scientist who the dog walked in the elevator?
You know what? I
with
was
him,
thinking.
and then just
People
set the
want to see my
elevator down?
face a lot on not only my streams, but also on my Discord.
Just me.
I think I'll do that. However, it's not going to be that easy. Well, shucks. Yeah. Alright, I'm apparently the commander. Woo. Go!
Keep a watch out for Shy Guys.
Oh, dog! There's the dog.
Get back. Well, do we go back or what? Get back.
Fudge, I've been hit. Does anybody have... Oh, wait, I have a medkit. Alright, I'm good. Oh, there's a knot.
939 can't hurt us if we don't move.
Oh! Kill him! Kill the knot! We've got a problem. That's another problem. Help! Dang it.
Watch Shy Guy.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Get in. Power. No, close the fucking gate. Close the fucking gate.
There's
What
Shy
are you doing?
Guy, dog out.
There's a 173, 939, another 939, an 096, and an 049. So there was no computer. Okay. Ooh. Did it. Slow march. Go.
It's 096 and 3. What am I supposed to do?
Exactly. If you get both, you're screwed. Oh, I can't wait for Mega Patch 2. Let's see, what do I have to do this weekend? I've got to edit footage, I've got to make scripts. This weekend's gonna be full of boredom. This dude's just there. Then dude there. Dude there. Dude there. I'm actually streaming on Twitch. Cool.
There was one of those signs.
Cool.
One of the scientists in a D class, they were in an elevator opposite to me, and I was literally in the same elevator as the doggo, and he didn't notice me.
Oh my god,
Shit, dog inbound, dog inbound.
That's not good. You're getting cornered, my friend. Grenade! Yeah.
Oh, rip this dude.
Oh!
Go away! Go away!
Yeah, you got
Oh no.
Well.
Well, we just got a night. Oh,
Alright.
rip.
Welcome to
That's
Zombie
right.
Land.
Sit up straight, youth.
096 is just still waiting for us. Wait, are both
Oh
the
yeah,
gates
and that's what
closed?
else I have to do. Oh, this is going to be a very
I think all
long
the
weekend.
gates are closed and 096 can't get out because they don't have a computer. Getting soccer mom's just AFK right now, look at him.
1337's just waiting.
Oh my god. Who? Fucking Night Raven Scout is so... What? What did Commander just aggro onto? What? Oh, poor guy. Just got so unlucky. Knight is just out of there. He was being chased by 3 of them. And he's out.
Well.
Oh.
3 of them chased him on the surface. No, like 2 to 3 of them.
Alright,
Yeah.
let's see.
The dog, Peanut, and Plague chased him on surface, and he went down. 96 aggroed onto someone else, which allowed him to get through. Now Peanut's there. And he can't open the gate for some reason. What? Oh my god, why is Peanut so low? What did you people do to him?
I don't know, I knew
We shot him!
Put him in the butter.
How did you get him to 1980?
No viewers so far, of course.
You hit him with like half a grenade or something? What the shit?
I just shot him a bunch until I died. You're playing Jackbox Party Pack 2, alright. Well, if you're still live in about 30 minutes or so, I might be able to host you. Alright, who's ready to go face death head on? Alright, what are the lucky 3 that are going to go face death head on? Prepare! Where'd you come from? Alright, it was only the cadet.
Danger. Light containment zone overall decontamination in T-minus.
Oh no, wait.
9. Contained successfully.
There's a nut. They're screwed.
November. 12.
Oh god, help. Plague Doctor on.
Alright, I'm away. When can you host me? In about half an hour, so 10 my time. That's when I usually get off. When you do, can you unmute me? Maybe. Oh, jeez, where did he come from?
I got him.
Well, I'm gonna go face death. See ya.
That was me.
Yeah, but that's a maybe right now.
No. Fuckery.
Hello?
Can I get you some biscuits?
Organic substances has now begun.
Hello? It's quiet. Too quiet. I don't know where I'm going. Screw off, nut! I see you. Fudge, I'm out of ammo. Wait, no, I'm not. Oh, fudge! You're back from AFK? You're back from AFK? Great. Wait, when did you come back from being AFK, dog? Help! Help! Boy. Well, who's the charming fellow in the corner there?
I'm dead.
Did you just blow yourself up?
Yes, I did.
Good job.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, because some people closed the gate behind. Some people closed the gate behind me. I'm very disappointed in whoever did that, because now I'm dead. This is gonna be one of the games where it's just gonna be brutal combat in the facility.
Oh wait, hey, wait a second. Wait a second. It's Cupcake. Hello. I did not recognize that. I was like, oh, that was JC.
Oh my gosh.
I was just fixed on the mindset that it was JC making crazy comments. Yeah. Bruh is correct. Oh, hello, Cupcake. It's been a while.
They went up without you. They went up without
Yeah.
That's what happened to me.
Wait, when was the last time that we played together? I think the last time it was back in Secret Neighbor Beta. Wait, how you mix me up with Cupcake? I wasn't looking at the names, alright? I wasn't looking at the names. Oh yeah, Rob, yeah. Now I have Secret Neighbor, the full release thing.
Peanut still has a decent chunk of HP right now, so...
But a few bullets could easily kill him.
Yeah. Like, he's not like, oh, he can tank an entire mag, but it's not like, hit him with one shot, he's dead. Oh,
shoot!
well, he wasn't looking and
Dang it, dude, just shoot!
Got himself killed. And now this guy
Oh, what server are you in? I want to play. I'm in Joker's Playground number 2, because, well, the other servers I usually played on, like Sellout Zone or This Is the Name of a Server, have either don't have anybody on them or just magically disappeared.
The chief of security is the last one alive.
Understandable. Be there in a minute. Yeah.
Power
I mean, what's it called? This Is the Name of a Server is just straight out disappeared. I don't know where it's gone.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I don't like these types of servers because they just have so many plugins.
No. Get fucked. He would get cornered in there.
Honestly, I think Faceless could beat D-Bat and Soccer Mom, but I think Vander's gonna kill him.
No, Vander doesn't know how.
Oh, excuse me, Automod. It freaking died. Oh, yeah, Brino was having a discussion about how strict my auto mod was once. Can't say the F. Yes, well, JC, you don't have to spam it. I saw your message. Run! Shoot the nut! Just shoot him! We did it, boys! We did it, boys! Yeah, fix that. Yes, fix that. No, I'm going to. I try to keep my stream somewhat PG. The F word I am not going to allow, no matter what. Oh. Oh, fudge, I forgot about that. Hold on. Hold on a moment. Forgot about something that happens. I forgot about it. Great. I think stuff. Great. Alright, we're good. Alright.
Open it! Oh my god.
Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm back. So, what have I missed? So, where's the shy guy? Nobody wants to kill you, JC. Hey! Yeah,
I survived from my OG squad. Victor 02
Faceless, you fucking betrayed me.
yeah, and then there's people like that who can make it so I have to rate it like R or whatever.
With you, I was just using you as
PG-13, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, well, get fucked, bro.
You were the bait. You wouldn't even die.
Well. Next round, here we go. Ah, yes, the next round.
Yo, HF bros.
Or a scientist.
Day. I just want to be 096.
I just want to be Peanut for once.
I agree. That would be fitting.
I would like to be Plague Doctor.
We all want to be something that we can't be. Isn't that fun?
Watch me get Plague Doctor this round. Watch me get Plague Doctor this round, bro.
Watch me.
I just.
Watch.
Oh, great. Oh, hey! I'm Chief of Security.
Text messages on my phone right now.
I am the chief. Hello, I am the chief of security, apparently. Oh yeah, I can now... I turned off Steam Overlay. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, 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 oh! It's amazing! But I'm still going to do that stupid thing. Okay, Alright, into heavy! I don't know what I'm doing. Is it here? Oh, it must be upstairs then. Do, do, do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I can confirm there is a dog, most likely, maybe even two. I have entered the danger zone. Do, 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 do. 'Cause why not? This probably is going to be death. Oh, hello. Oh, JC! Hey! Dog! What the? Run! Other way, JC! JC. I swear to... You better not be working with the dog. Knowing you, you probably are. Just gotta accept fate. Knowing me, I'm probably screwed. No! Not again! Dang it!
I repeat, overall decontamination in T-minus 10 minutes.
Oh, so this is a trank.
Chaos insurgency has entered the facility. All personnel be on alert.
Oh, hey!
Oh, hi. What's going on? So, I went half the match trying to fix my microphone, because apparently it was stuck on the Rift audio. And then I just heard the SCP noise, and Peanut was, like, right in front of me. And I was
Well
like,
then.
back away. So yeah, I casually had to run around all the SCPs, then fix my mic while me and this guy were hiding in the corners.
Alrighty then. Oh, I've ran into both of the dogs.
Yeah, it's not good up there.
Don't mind me, I'm just getting my 05. Oh look, James is here. Hello, James. The actual James.
One of my friends FaceTimed me for some reason. What does this look like, 2003?
I've got a trank. You want to try and risk it?
That sounds like an ankle breaker, man. A femur breaker, man.
Yep, it is. Oh, and there's a dog. Ah! The strength is useless now. Ah! Not again! Good afternoon, after morning, gamers. Oh, hello, James. Don't mind me, I'm just running. Ah, fudge! You know what? Take me. Just take me. I don't care anymore. Just take me, please. Are you serious? This is great. This is... Oh, hello. Hello again. Oh, great. I am literally at 11% health. I would like it if you don't bite me. Alright, that's useless. I got booted. What do you mean you got booted? You mean you got, like, booted from the game? Disconnected from server, yep. I am at 11% health. I could use a medkit. Pow! Help me, I'm dead. You know what? The best thing I can do with my life right now? Go into the Femur Breaker. Where is the Femur Breaker? Is the next question. Oh, fudge!
Oh, never mind, he's dead anyways.
I was going for the Femur Breaker.
Not allowed.
Yeah, clearly.
If anyone's gonna break their femurs, it's gonna be me.
Oh, we'll have to see about that.
Fucking bet. We're gonna get in. Whenever we get in, I don't care for chaos or not, I'm fucking running to the femur breaker.
We're both just gonna run. Whoever gets there first wins.
Wait, what? No! He didn't die. Are you kidding me?
He barely even got hurt.
It's a race.
Here. Come on. We can get you out of here, G-boy.
What?
Even with a direct grenade launcher, my first reaction, I'm dying with this thing.
Wait, who has a grenade launcher? Who has a rocket launcher?
No. Okay.
I had a rocket launcher fired at point blank.
Icons X Riley didn't take
All right, let's do this.
grenade launcher. What? The rocket launcher is more deadly than the user than the actual.
You can't stop me. I will make it.
Let's go commit non-live.
I'm getting to that Femur Breaker first, Cupcake. This race is on. Fudge.
Chaos.
This race is on. Never mind. I'm dead. I had a feeling the nut was there. Well, there's a mention. Oh, James, you wanted to join the podcast. But the podcast was a huge failure, so it's not happening anymore. Sorry. Yeah. What's this? Me 6 log. Oh. JC, how many times? How many times are you going to make duplicated text? Seriously. Just seems to be infinite for you.
Light containment zone overall decontamination in
Yeah, I saw that. Well, yeah.
I mean, I let him right into it, so if it didn't, then fuck.
Oh, another grenade. How many more do they have? Let's see, 939, 939, 173. Come on, you guys got it. So close.
Why did I jump faster?
Shoot him more.
I can't let him get away. I have to go after him. Too bad I'm not an SCP.
You guys had him so close.
You know what?
to-
That race is still on.
We actually probably would get him.
Hey!
Good job, gamers.
Yeah!
I was just walking around SCP with
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious to watch. Ah, yes. Alright, I just hit my beak.
Chaos Insurgents,
I am Plague Doctor. Do not disturb my work.
Oh no, they don't know. Oh, I know, it was stupid. elevator.
Oh.
Wait a minute, what's Peanut doing?
Chaos, chaos, chaos.
I'm not sure. I think he was trying to get in the elevator, but the B-boy stopped him.
And he fucking left.
But he isn't, like, trying to attack the people.
Oh, there's JC. JC, you don't look to be in the best of situations.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Well, fine. Oh. Oh. Oh, come on, Nut. Come on. You can't be nice. You can't be friendly. No. No. I'm trying to be friends here. JC, you absolute hecking legend, you. He's no legend. He's just crazy. Hey, boys, the nut went down. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave them a present. Whoa. What is it now? I took the tablet. Oh, hey, how are ya? Dang it.
Don't know.
There goes Ben.
Yes, hello, JC.
Say I if you want to beat up this Gamma Predator guy.
Actually, no, don't go turn on the nuke.
Well, you know what?
Rudy is dead.
Let me get out my footrest because comfort.
Everybody here died off, okay?
The Alpha Warhead is ready. But there's a bunch of chaos on the surface.
Yeah, nuke time.
But
Now
what the
Why is the
heck?
grenade launcher so bad?
Somebody has a rocket launcher? Who has it?
Yeah, Dad has a rocket launcher.
I will pick it off of your dead corpse.
I'm not quite sure how, but get pranked.
Oh, hello.
I thought, well,
Oh,
my
hello, Cupcake.
teammate might at least die doing it.
So,
It's a 1v 50,000.
This man and what? I drained almost an entire round into this man and he kills me.
Oh, I got a rocket launcher. Even better.
1337.
The rocket launcher was right there. That rocket launcher is mine. Rocket launcher, uh-oh.
Huh?
Wow. Rocket launch. If I last longer than a minute with a rocket launcher, you know something's wrong.
I'm sorry, Banana. I had to chase Slayer to the end.
Dude.
G fucking G.
Oh my. How long did I dodge?
Whew. Wow. Just stroke my beak and figure out what to do. Alright. A Boppy.
Hey, what's Larry's number?
This mask gets annoying.
What's Larry's number?
106.
106.
Alright, 106.
Voodoo Shicks. Don't worry, I am the cure. I just want to become 096 so I can kill a bunch of people. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. Hello. I am Chief.
Yes, I got a commander card out of the lock.
Oh, good job.
I'm headed to the
Intercom?
I'm headed to the intercom now.
Don't. The intercom's the other way. I spawned at it.
Do you want to come to the intercom with me?
Now I'm gonna do my job.
Okay, good luck.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
I'm going to guess I'm the only one who's going to actually do my job. Great.
For a moment.
Welcome to the intercom. That is your room right there. This is my room. And if
I found an AFK security guard. Hello.
there's a train guard.
Oh, hey, can you take him? He's AFK. He's AFK. Can you take him?
Weapon management tablet.
Yeah, he's AFK. I don't know what you want to do with him.
Hello, Foundation members.
Ah.
There has been some rumors that SCPs are breaking free Silv's Class D personnel, so we are sending facility guards down to check it out.
Wow, it's like you're the chief. Nobody ever used the stock command. You have tried to no clip. Cool? I didn't though. What? I'm confused. Oh well, it's just the stupid console thing. Nobody cares about it. Oh hey! Oh fudge! Hello! Oh, great. You!
Let's go. Fuck.
I should also mention there's a Larry.
But we don't want to stay here.
Yeah, and I don't have a disarmer either, so that's a problem.
I'll be nice.
Alright, maybe one of my friends can disarm you. Oh, hey. Wait a second.
Wait, what do you mean?
I knew it!
No! What have you done?
I knew you were a spy.
Hello?
Damn Dang it, did it not kill him at all? It didn't even hurt him, of course.
For 2 seconds.
Eat lunch. Tyrone 2020.
I knew he was a spy the second I saw him.
SCP-106 has broken free from containment.
Hello
and
there.
is going to kill literally everyone in the facility. We need to stop him.
Well then.
Containment zone overall decontamination in T-minus 10 minutes.
Can you host me now? No, I'm still playing. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh, hello, JC, and goodbye in a moment. You're gonna be turned into a zombie, I can tell.
Yeah.
No, you're not, because he's not. Never mind.
Get him! Get that scientist!
Yeah, sorry, Jeremy.
Get him,
Sorry.
boys. Get him, boys.
I'm still streaming, though, but when I finish, I might be able to host you. Although, you have a higher chance of me hosting you if you have, or if you're playing the same game.
Did I defeat the curse?
What are you doing back here
That's
already?
not very nice. Hey, can you tell your friends to... Well, or not.
Dang it! JC, what are you doing back here
I
already?
befriended one of them and then they traded or they backstabbed me.
Good job, buddy.
JC, what are you doing back here so quickly?
Yeah, given the state of the server, it was hopeless anyways.
I don't know what I'm doing back here, Ben.
You were just a zombie. What happened?
I don't know.
I will sacrifice myself. Does anybody have something to access? Oh, alright. Oh, hello. Come on, let's go kill and die. Charge! Charge!
Was that a dog behind us?
I don't care. Oh gosh, so many! Ah!
Who's that computer? Please, come on, here, quick.
I'm gonna stop my stream, but I'll stream again when you can host me, alright? What's up, zombie? Oh, there's more of you! Welcome, welcome! How are you all doing today? Oh. I'm about to become one of them!
Airport airplanes.
Yay! They're all on surface, I'm pretty sure. Oh my gosh, yes!
What is happening anymore?
There! Get him! Get him! One of us! One of us! One of us! Yeah! One of us! One of us! JC, stop it!
Oh my god, there's so many of you guys.
Dad, 049.
Deathman, what if you don't?
There's 3 people left by the way.
I think they're all on surface. That's at least what I saw last.
Deathman 650.
To the surface! Gate B! Yeah! Everybody pile into the elevator.
Somebody found MTF.
They're at gate A, they're at gate A. I got 2 in the pocket dimension. I got 2 in the pocket dimension. One is going up gate A right now.
Can you let me get
Oh, one died. Oh my god. There's none over there. One died.
Get them all!
2 targets left.
I think one survived, but there's enough people to recontain me.
I hear him.
Oh.
Good shots.
Hey, boys, go to the silo.
Everybody,
Silo elevator, people
swarm him.
Get him, boys. Get him, boys.
Kill us all. One of us. One of us. Shadow.
One of us, yes.
Send elevator B down. Send elevator B down at gate B. Send that down. Down. Don't let him escape. Don't let him escape.
No escape.
Send gate B
No
down.
surrender. No
Send
escape.
elevator B down.
For you.
Quick.
Send the
The rest
elevator
of the
down.
people.
Quick. He's almost there. He's almost there.
I don't have enough power to get there.
Oh, he went in with the dog. He went in with the dog.
Yes.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yes.
He's so dead.
Yeah.
Checking in.
All right, let's go.
Nuke room is fine. Oh, hello, Deathman. Are you proud of being the father of 20 children? Are you proud? Are you the proud father of 20 children?
Dang it, we're trapped. Okay. Gate B.
I need a few more power, man.
Wait, what do you mean gate B? What do you mean gate B?
We're stuck here.
There's an NTF over here. NTF over here.
How to click.
Alright.
No, no.
And it auto-kills? What the fuck?
One zombie stay at that gate.
Fine.
Hey! -13. -13. What is this?
They're bald.
This is death.
What? Oh, he won. They're so bald.
I haven't been an SCP this entire time. I feel great. But bad at the same time because being an SCP is fun. Alright, well. Next round. Yeah. Alright. Shadow Realm? Shadow Realm? What happened? Everything happened. Hey, hey, hey. Shadow Realm.
Get out of here, Ben.
No.
Shadow Realm.
Guys, can we
Get out of
capital
here.
G gamer
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Bro, did you just say gamer with a hard R?
I'm gonna get brain aids from this server.
Ben,
good.
Get out of the server.
sucks to
I'm
suck.
gonna call your mom.
Hey, D-boy. D-boy. No. Boy.
Follow the nerd.
Follow the nerd.
A1. I knew it.
Oh.
I knew it. Shut
The nerd.
Oh, hey, Cupcake.
Fuck. Why are there so many then?
So many D-boys.
Look at the floor, my
Okay.
son.
Thank you.
I'll go in.
That's on course.
That's on. What the heck's going on?
Is it murder time?
Yes, murder them.
Oh, you got a trank. Nice.
Oof. I will press the buttons. Fucking. I didn't do that.
Uh-oh. Help. Well then, help.
We just turn somebody into chaos.
How about everybody just back
I've got a disarmor as well. Sweet.
This is what happens when you very.
Wait, Cupcake, come here. Cupcake, cupcake.
Annihilated.
Scientist, you wouldn't happen to have a key card. Oh, thanks.
Oh! That sounds like a dog.
Fuck your stream, Ben.
I hate this.
Ben, I'm gonna say the N-word.
Woo. Hey, hey, I'm Chaos Boy. I'm Chaos Boy. Oh, this isn't Trank. Great. I got an 05.
Hey, you're the one with the 05. You lead.
Okay, let's not go that way. Uh-oh.
Take a left. Take a left. Don't go there.
Oh, hey, Chaos. What's up? Oh. I did some damage, I think. Oh, hey, look, more Chaos. Oh, no, I wasn't a spy. I was a D class, and then I went on very fine. This weapon's better. I can't even escape anymore. I'm gonna go do stuff. Wait a second, I've got an 05. We all know exactly what I must do. Time to blow this place to smithereens! Hey boys, who wants to blow this place up?
What? Oh, okay.
Okay. I did not do that.
Let's go, boy.
Yeah. Well, this is the end. Oh, heck yeah. Ah, fudge. We just left him in there. Oh no, he has no way out now. Good. Well, down I go. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Erm. Hello. Oh. Oh, hey. JC's not friendly whatsoever.
Oh, hi, Ben.
Oh, hey, JC. Oh, Leopard, you're back. I almost read your name as Ice Sleeper again. Sweet. Oh, hey, D-boy. Come on, let's get... Oh, yeah, more chaos just spawned.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, come on, let's get you out. Oh, sweet, another one. This might be the way. I heard a grenade. Oh, hey.
Hey, guys.
Hey, don't shoot the dogs. Don't shoot the dogs.
Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him.
Where's the D-boy?
You guys are my best friends.
Hello.
Where's the D-boy? Dang it! Alright, how's it been? It's been going fine. The server feels a lot more lively. And things are going crazy. Oh yeah, I went in on the thing and on very fine, and now I'm a chaos with a disarmor and a USP. 'Cause, yeah. Look good. We're not good. Oh, the one, yo, hello. London Bridge is falling down. Yep. Hello. Okay, come on, let's go. Nice, I got a USP.
I got Trank.
Oh, great.
You missed, falling down? Oh, no. Doggos don't seem to be friendly towards D-boy. Just be careful. Oh, hey!
Yeah, the dog's up here, the one biting asses.
I'll blast his ass. Hold up. Alright, where's he at?
I think he went up with one of the. I think he went up with one of the. Chaos.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey! Hey, JC.
Hello.
We found
You know where
another D-boy.
Cupcake is?
We found another one.
Back up, boys! Back up, tear! Oh, you bitch.
That was not a smart move.
Well.
Yeah.
He ain't getting away this time.
The door blocks 100% of damage.
Alright, let's get him.
Yo, we're all gonna fucking die.
Yeah, I know that already.
I have no 5.
Like, that helps against the dog.
Oh, hey! Come on, JC, let's just go. Don't worry about them. Doggo's friendly as long as you don't shoot it. JC, guess what? I just locked 2 of the chaos in the nuke room. You might want to get going.
Danger. Light containment
your MT security card scientist, any of the above, I have to just say we're coming to kill you. So yeah.
Oh no.
Hey! Woo! Okay, hold on. Some whatever. No, why? Meme cat. What? Oh, okay. I see now. You know what? Making this my last game for the night, alright? Last game. Hey. Are you sure? What, for making this my last game? Yes, I am sure. It's getting late and I'm getting somewhat tired.
I'm a little mad at.
Oh, you gotta go? See ya, JC. Can I put it in the Discord? Sure.
So much.
Alright, this is my last game for the night.
The secret was that we took our guns and then we pointed them at you and then we shot you.
This is the last game for the night for me.
Decided to leave me locked up in a room for half the match.
Oh, that was me. I just realized he's talking to me. Hello, this is my last game. Oh, hey, Cupcake.
Ben, don't think you're off the fuck list either.
I don't wait. He did something, didn't I?
That sounded a little bad. Hold on. You're a little bit on the fuck you list because you locked me in a room with a madman. And
Oh, that was you. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was you. But oh, hey, you want to escape? Yeah. You want to escape?
I really need to phrase my.
Come on. Let's get out of this heck hole.
I was gonna say that you and two other people were on the fuck list.
Wait, shut the door, shut the door. Where's the keycard? Shut that door. No scientists get in here. Wait, can you?
Oh, hey, we're scientists.
Wait a minute.
Oh boy, this is gonna. Oh wait, how did I get this? How did I get this? Oh, it's the trank. I got a tranquilizer.
I have a coin. That's it.
Yes, we killed them. Don't worry, he's he's not tranked. Oh, I just killed them. I just killed them both. Oh. Yes. Yes, this is great. Alright, give me about 40 more minutes and I will surprise you with a gift. And in the process, hopefully have someone test something for me. Winky face emote. Yeet. Alright, I'll see if I can do that. My parents are probably going to yell at me if I stay on much longer. I meant Meme Cat, but okay. This is Meme Cat. Help. Meme Cat can't, Meme Cat take over. Discord, by pasting her in 10 other servers, or she will never be a meme. Noise. Yeah.
What a fuck.
Turn into scientists, like,
Honestly.
I said, like, kill all scientists. I go into the machine, come out as a scientist, and some guys holding a gun to my head.
And then two of you went in on course.
No, it was on rough.
Oh, rough. Sorry, I get those two confused.
On the fuck you list. Locking me in a room with the madman and then fucking, oh, it's a strength gun, bam!
Wait a second. Did you not recover from that trank?
No, it fucking killed me! That wasn't a trank, that was a fucking bullet in my skull!
Oh my gosh. But wait, it acted like a trank gun.
Oh, it's a trank gun! Perfectly just shoots me square in the fucking face.
Karma, I don't care. I don't care. It was worth it. Woo! Lo, 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 lo. 10 minutes. Woo, lo, lo, lo. Chaos boys.
I am a medic. I'm here to slap your ass and give you
Yes, perfect terms. Come on.
That's how it works. Give you a good slap on the ass and you're healed. Ben! What the fuck is going on? I'm so fucking confused.
Hello.
Man. Ben! What the fuck?
I never said it wasn't. Yeah, but still.
Anyone else just want this round over?
This round fucking broke.
Flash grenades
It
and you...
really did.
Oh, that's why there's 2 dead bodies in the fucking corner.
Like, what the fuck, dude? Are we able to do a game mode, or do we not have a mod in here?
What a fucking...
Oh, don't like that.
I didn't ask for that.
Fuck.
I did something. Oh, that was fun. That was fun.
Please don't do this.
Is your computer? I can't tell. My screen's just completely fucking gray.
Oh yeah, that's why. Okay, 173 939 079 and 049.
Don't go through the door.
No,
I think the computer just killed me.
yeah, stop trying to post meme cat. It's not gonna work. You should have guessed that by now. Alright, bright light, bright light, bright light, monitor. Great. I'm surrounded by bright lights. You know, I can't see her the way you do because I am using the restream chat thing. No, I'm using the restream chat thing. It is currently spread over my entire monitor.
Did the Tesla gate on me.
Wow.
I'll go for 9.
Wait, how the fuck is there a zombie?
Yeah, I still can't see it. No matter how many times you post it.
Anyone notice that we have a zombie
This
on
server
their
is
team?
really interesting.
Oh, it could have been from the machine.
Could have.
Yeah, the shit was happening with it, so it's entirely possible.
I mean, but you have to be a D-boy to turn into a zombie. Fuck.
Well, yeah. Oh wait, no. I'm pretty sure that because I was
Well.
and he like teleported somewhere. Like he didn't die or anything.
Yes.
But he was just gone.
This is
so He might
perfect.
have been like turned and then like sent.
I don't even know if you guys can see me, but
The way I've been turned
yeah.
as a zombie in the grinder before, so it's just.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the grinder was fucked this round. So anything could happen.
No matter how many times you paste it, I won't be able to see it.
The grinder at this point.
Yeah, I found chaos. Entrance.
Wait, no, they did have a 4-9, but he just died to a Tesla.
You should be safe now. With your flashlights.
Ah.
Alright, I got 05.
05, 05, 05?
Are we all good?
Fooey, yeah.
Oh, wait.
It's because
scientist,
of my chatting
you need
thing.
to go in.
You should like stop. Yes, I
We're gonna
agree
refine the
because
scientist into a D-boy.
spamming can get annoying. Alright, I got a box here. I'm gonna open it. Perfect.
Bunga. Binga bong.
Okay, scientist.
Good, it's cringy and nothing. Oh yeah, she was.
Commander, are you aware of our Lord and Savior PewDiePie?
I'm autistic, so it's so I'm very annoying. I know somebody that's way more autistic than you, and they live in my neighborhood. And by autistic, I mean they literally. Oh, fudge!
Everyone walk away. No, okay, fine. Grenades out. Stop, please, no!
The soundboard stopped.
Woo! Not. Ah, the nuts here.
Goddammit, let me pick up the ammo.
I not.
Be ready on that button.
Yeah. Dang it! Dude's just camping there. I think like 90% of today's society is just autistic. But I don't know.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you scared the absolute shit out of me. Oh! No.
I never said it was, I'm just saying I'm very annoying.
No.
Of course.
I'm getting out of here, I'm bullied.
There's two, where?
Deal.
No, you can use it.
Alright, well. Okay. Okay, I really need some water. Never mind, my water bottle's empty. Ugh. I'll get some water after the stream.
God damn it, man.
Danger. Light containment zone overall decontamination in T-minus 1 minute.
1 minute? Oh.
He's in that gate there.
Oh, this dude's screwed.
Is he right there?
You know what? Here. Let's play some copyrighted music because, why not? No, there are annoying people and people who have autism, which gives them an excuse for their normal brain functions. Yes. You know what? Let's listen to some copyrighted music.
We could go back to the usual, you trying to kill me thing, but I just really want to give you a hug. I know times are hard.
Well then. Your bitrate is spazzing out again. Are you serious? Yeah, I can see that. Alright, here, let me think. How to fix the issue? Oh, that's probably it. Found it. That should fix it. The music should is probably what's doing it. Oh hey, I blanked. Sweet. Yeah, usually 90% of the time it's the soundboard. Oh, sorry, friend, sorry. Are you serious? How many grenades are going to go off? Yeah, you know what? Oh, hey.
Hey, gamer.
I think he's the last target maybe down here. Did you kill him?
I'm fucking bullied.
Or did you kill the commander?
No, I think the peanut did.
Alright, that's good. Oh, hey. Yep, there's the commander.
Hey,
You're welcome.
Woo!
God damn it!
Thank you.
You
Alright, well.
I'm sorry.
You're not sorry. You could have befriended
Ugh.
me, and you didn't.
It had to happen, W.
It did not.
Yeah, I don't know why, but the soundboard thing, whatever, that allows me to play my music right off of the press of a button, broken. Absolutely broken, because it starts taking up like all of my CPU or memory or whatever. Hopefully my bitrate's stable now, but by the looks of it, it's not. Great.
What's you guys' favorite continent?
Africa.
Pangea.
Did I hear Africa?
Louisiana.
Dying.
Nazis.
Antarctica, because there's nobody there to interact with.
Ben, I'm gonna take your ass.
One more game, yes, yes.
Yep.
You know what? Here, I'm going to ask you, chat, I'm going to ask you a question. If you could go back to any year, what year would it be, and why? What year and why? Oh, excuse me for a moment.
Hello.
And there was the call for me to get off. I'll try 2014. Okay. Why is that? Hello. Hello, D-Class.
Whoa, that's one.
What the heck? I just teleported out. PewDiePie was not a boomer and in fact was a Omega Prince gamer. Also, YouTube was still good. Oh, alright. How about you, Leopard? If you're still here. 1982, so I could stop myself from... Alright. Good reason.
Boys, we gotta be quick. SCPs are on their way. There's no room for error. We gotta go. We gotta dispense.
Dang it! And not every single game needed in-game purchases, div, or money, and the like. Ah. Yeah. I would go back to somewhere in the 1600s, maybe 1500s. Because back then, music was at its greatest point of time. Classical. And not only that, but social, being social was heavily discouraged at the time. Music was great. Being social was discouraged. Sounds like greatness to me. Oh, hey, Nut. Yeah, here, come, follow me, follow me. Yep, just follow me, I'll let you in. Wait, is cross-teaming allowed? I don't think so. Oh, hey.
Is it Peanut?
Yeah. I was hoping we could get rid of it. Hey boys, there's a nut.
I guess I could go rough, but I'll do that once y'all leave, or we all die.
Okay.
Open door.
I don't think I want to do. Close door. Close door.
Oh hey, the computer's here.
They have a PC.
I don't want to die.
Hey.
Oh hey, computer and Peanut. Sorry. Oh hey, what's up, man?
You're delusional.
Take me. Thank you. Yay! Oh, the gate's closed. Great. Take them.
Fucking doesn't work on me, dumbass.
You know.
Yeah, another one.
LP Rooney is mine.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Damn it, it wouldn't let me.
Alright. Well, look, hopefully my bitrate's stable now. Hopefully. Well, I'm dead. Okay, nearly done. Now just gotta compile it. Alright, well.
And you can get just whatever you. Oh shit. Okay, for real.
I decided that I wasn't satisfied as a zombie, so I went on very fine.
He's a liar.
It failed.
I would say jump, but like peanut.
Ah, fuck.
So that's
I'm
not
gonna
really
go
fair.
over here and you guys.
Whoa, okay, my chair's tipping forward.
We're just talking about our big deal about going to Chappies. I don't know if you like Chappies or not. I don't know if any I don't know.
Well then.
I definitely did that.
Oh, wow.
I need to go back.
What's your resolution? 1920 by 1080.
Something or another.
Woo!
I don't understand what y'all have against Chappies. That place is bomb.
I did it. I got rid of you.
2 in a row. I got you killed.
We were about to have a big
Grenades!
No.
I need a rocket launcher.
Well, I mean, we can have an orgy in Chappies like
anything.
No. I'm not okay with that one.
Just let the recoil take you. I got a nail, a screw, that's a screw, not a nail. I got a screw on my desk. I know exactly what it's trying to tell me. It's telling me to screw off.
Happens not.
Waiter, my family appears surplus amount.
We have a question of the century right here. What happens when a nut?
Yes, the horrible jokes.
Nut.
My friend has been getting macaroni for 5 rounds.
If you could go back to any year, what would it be? What year would you go back to?
If I don't get D class, I'm sucking everybody's dick in this lobby.
Okay.
And the greatest
25.
Alright.
Oh, I don't have to suck anybody's dick. Thank God. So look, Ben, is that you?
Yes, hello.
Fat bitch.
Oh, hey, look at that. No.
Show me where 914 is, nerds. Fucking glasses.
I would love to, but the thing is,
Oh.
Hehe. Hello. Oh, hey, Cupcake, I've got a card already. Oh, hey. Yeah. I'm a janitor? Alright, well then.
then how about Mexican?
I got the music. I was like, maybe not the best way. I don't know where I'm going. But if we can find 096, we can get out of here. That's not 096. I don't know. Oh, look, there was a fourth one there.
Bro, whenever I play computer, I get like 0 or 1 Tesla, and then this bitch gets like fucking 10.
There is always a minimum of 1 Tesla gate.
Fucking sucks anyways.
So you escape first, and then arrest me, and I'll escape. So, what do you think about MP2?
What?
Do you not know what MP2 is? Oh, hey, wait, arrest me. Arrest me.
Oh, it's Big Smoke.
Sweet, and take my card. We can get out of here.
I'm taking your fucking coin.
Dang it.
That's mine now, bitch.
Of course.
He needs more videos. But you fucking dropped the disarm.
Yeah, he dropped the... Oh, there we go.
Not allowed. Your fucking arms. You can't use them.
Okay. Well, let's get out of here. He has the commander card. Where does 096 spawn? In a chamber. Oh, sweet.
Why do I feel like Chaos is gonna spawn right as we get up here?
I don't know. Probably because that's how unlucky we can be.
Fucking stairs are bumpy. I forgot that shit.
Yeah, you gotta remember, I have to go first. Otherwise, I'm going to turn into chaos.
You do it anyways. Oh no, it, quote, my air quotes, accidentally happens.
Yes.
Much like later tonight, I'm going to quote unquote watch a movie absolutely legally.
Alright.
Absolutely.
Well, let's do this.
Trying to be some pro games.
Oh, that's right, I can't use doors either.
I told you I took your arms. They're mine.
Yeah, exactly.
I fucking ate them.
Also, I saw how confused you are by the server and all of its extra plugins.
Yeah, I'm like, what is all this shit?
Well then. What the heck?
I feel like the fucking, like, the Nightmare Before Christmas. What's this? What's this? I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Wait, Cupcake, wait. Alright, good. You dropped a bunch of stuff when you spawned in, like, everything.
More containers. My fucking, I need
It's not a radio.
No, my quarter!
This is my lucky coin now.
Give me back my quarter!
No, fuck you, it's mine. I'm turning off the radio.
I'm dropping the radio.
Oh shit. Did you drop in the radio?
Yeah, I'm dropping it. Now, let's go commit non-life.
So, yeah, I feel like that's gonna happen.
Oh. Sweet, so we made the right choice.
Bro, we should have just become chaos. That would have been funny.
Yeah.
Gotta fight them all off on our own.
Yep.
Two people in a fucking zoo.
Yeah.
Gonna beat down the entire server.
That would be awesome.
I've done that.
Oh, hey.
Detain me.
Oh my gosh.
Is shotgun.
He had an 05.
I'm taking your fucking grenades. Don't you touch
Can you get me out of here, please, so I can be one of you? So I can be one of you.
Alright, follow me. Yep, this way. Oh, no.
Oh no. Hey, computer, why would you do that?
He doesn't want you getting out. That's why. Oh, that's why! No, Cupcake, no. Where's the femur breaker when you need it? That's not the femur breaker. Cupcake, are you still following me? Hello? Am I alone?
Facility power system now operational.
Why did I get music? Oh, wait, is that? No, that's not Cupcake. Shoot! Oh, you knew. Oh, you're friendly? Hey, come help me turn on the femur breaker, because why not? I know there's no Larry. Sweet, femur breaker, let's go! Just because I like my femur to be broken. Alright, just hit the red button. Of course. Look, you don't have a Larry. So what did matter to you? Everything, apparently. Now he's stuck. You know what I'm gonna do? Oh my gosh! Yes! Oh, alright, I've got a rocket launcher. I've got a rocket launcher! I've got a rocket launcher! Woo!
Is there even a
Alright, well, I gotta go, everybody. See ya.
Much better. I don't like your future. Nothing personal, kid.
Rocket launcher. Oh my god. Well, that was the last round of tonight. You're done? Alright, sweet. That's like perfect timing. Send you a link via Twitch Whisper. Alright. Well, thank you, Reno. Wait a second, hold on. Discord. Wait a second. Something sounds familiar. Friends. Alberino! Wait, we're friends on Discord. Wait a second. I have bad internet, so it may take me, take about 1 minute to upload. Alright, well, in that minute, I will be, doing, what's it called? Finding somebody to raid. That's it. SCP Secret Laboratory. Let's find somebody else to raid. Oh. Oh. Let's see. Here. Perfect. I think so. I mean, if I go to Discord, it says in my friends list, it says, Abrino. Let me, yeah. And profile, yeah, it just says Abrino. Please look at it now on stream now, lol, by the way. This is gonna be cool. I spent the past 3 days making it. Alright, oh. Yeah, here, let me... Once I get the, message, I could take a look at it, maybe? Excuse me. Yeah, that's my parents yelling at me for the 3rd time to get you off. So... Here, let me listen in. It's 50 megabytes, 11% done on upload. I just started uploading it. 14. Alright. Oh, here. I'll get the raid set up. We'll be raiding this person in a few minutes, etc. Yeah. Alright. Oh, it feels good to take off that mask. That was getting very uncomfortable. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I'm gonna take off my cape or whatever it's called, because that's also getting annoying. I can turn this light off. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. Brino, tomorrow, I have to check it tomorrow. My parents are going to literally turn off my internet. No, not even turn off my internet, just turn off the internet. When I go. Halloween was ages ago, LMAO. Stop dressing up as 049. I don't want to show my face right now. And that's the only mask I have. So yeah. But I'll check it out tomorrow on stream. Definitely looks like a cool thing. And I mean, I don't think yeah, let's see, SCP Terminal. Yeah, this looks really cool. And so I wish you luck on that project. If anybody else is still watching, we're about to go raid somebody. Oh, great.